Welcome, everyone. Um, it is the 24th of April 2025. For those of you just joining, my name is Nix. Welcome to the pursuit of stability and peace. Today I recorded my video to do my closeout for my April budget, and I recently discovered some editing tools that I wanted to try out. And lo and behold, I get everything set up and try and play my first recording and realize that the entire 49 minutes of my last video that I have done all of this for has zero sound. To say that I'm annoyed at this point is an understatement. I think I started recording this like 3 or 4 times without any success. So if you cringed at the beginning of my video, I do apologize, because the way my mind is set at this moment is just so unbelievably scattered, because I'm so annoyed at what happened. And I feel like I wasted the last 2 hours of my life and I have to do this all over again. So here goes nothing. I am going to use one of my old Stedler pens just to point out everything. So it looks absolutely terrible because I filled out everything. I wrote everything. And I honestly don't have the time to do it again or the energy. But before we get started with this, just some background on what's been happening in my life. I think every year gets busier and busier for me, and it can be so frustrating because I'm an executive assistant and I have a lot of my plate. I look after a team of about 150 people with regards to their qualification, administration, the way invoices come in, how they're processed, how they're paid, and I do the travel for the entire team. So one of the first things I think I shot myself in the foot for was getting the process right for one of these visa applications that I've been doing for so long. So I've done it twice a year for the last 2 years, and because it's so difficult, I always have people that are traveling twice a year, and I apply for a full year visa. So this application takes so freaking long that I have actually told some superiors that if they tell me that they need to travel to this place and they give me a week's notice, I tell them I'm not doing it, because this is how complex the visa application is. And when you go to the visa office for your application appointment, they actually always consistently have asked for requirements that are not on their checklist. And it's so complex that it does take me at least a week just to get the requirements sorted out for the application. Then within the next week, that's when my appointment is set up. And I allow for another week because they make me so nervous. You never know what they're going to do. And the last month I've had basically, I think almost 8 applications that I had to do for this particular country. And I have been pulling out my hair for the last, I don't know how many weeks. And because this is so complex and it takes so long, I have to constantly check and follow up. And in a sense, my work falls behind and I get a backlog of everything, which doesn't really help because obviously people don't understand that you need to fix certain things in order for them to do it. And they always expect it to be really quick, which is not always possible. So I've been working till like 8 o'clock at night. I come home and I just crash. I eat and I have a bath and I go to bed, and then I wake up and I repeat. And then the weekend comes, but because I haven't done everything that I needed to do during the week, it piles up. So I have to take care of it over the weekend. And I know these are excuses, but I have worked 12-hour days for the last month, and I've gotten sick. I've had to fulfill promises that I've made to family members, and that's taken up most of my time. And I am at this point where I'm like, I need to basically cut off the world in order to get to all of these things, right? And my goal for today was to have this uploaded because it's 24th of April. I get paid on the 25th. So essentially, my salary will come into my account tonight. And I still need to do my budgeting video. So just a heads up, that's going to be really late, but it's not going to be as late as this video was. I know in my previous videos, I've promised to do a weekly tracking update, all of that, but with the state of things that have been this month, I have not been able to get to anything. I've also had some major financial setbacks this month, and it is frustrating the hell out of me. And I've gotten to this point where I almost didn't do this video because the anxiety of how much I've spent versus how much I know is coming in or came in is close to making me dissociate. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, if you had watched my April budget with me video, I had specified that my income is not as much as my expenses, and I don't know how to do it. So I've made a plan this month, where luckily the South African government, it's gonna knock me in the long run, but it saved me this month. Has allowed us to withdraw the savings portion of our retirement or provident fund through work. So managed to get that, and that's how I survived this month. But you're going to see that I am in dire trouble, and I feel like I'm at my wit's end. But this is all my fault. Okay, so firstly, my monthly income, which is standard for every month, this basically changes only twice a year. In January, it's less because everything goes up. In July, it's a little bit more, but everything goes up. And but the upside is that I at least get a slight increase. But until the end of June, this is what I'm expecting to come into my salary every month. There will be a slight change for May's salary, but I will get to that in my May budgeting video. So the other thing that I did, as I mentioned, I managed to make a plan and withdraw my savings portion of my provident fund, and that was 5,153 rand 57. My mom pays me for the fiber in her house. And MWeb has grudgingly given me a discount for a few months. So this is what I'm expecting this month. This is also going to change, but again, I'll explain that in my May video. Please stay tuned. The other part of my income that comes through is my Discovery miles to cash. So I get a portion cash back for fuel that's spent, and then when I meet certain activity goals, it allows me to play on the game board, and I basically win miles from playing that. And the amount that I've managed to accumulate this month is 151 Rand. I do plan on making efforts to increase this, because to be honest, this tiny amount is the thing that helps me eat every month, so I don't starve to death. But this amount has purely come based on my fuel cashback and my Vitality Drive, which is not bad. There are two other ones. I don't think I'd be able to put to be able to claim on the savings portion of it, but I do have a plan to get a little bit more active, so I can increase this with the Vitality Active rewards. So we'll see how that goes, but hopefully it'll bring me in another extra, I don't know, hopefully like 100 Rand. Fingers crossed. So one of the things that I managed to do was pay off my portion of support for my family home. My rent went off as normal. My electricity was a little bit lower last month, but it was lower than I expected last month. But it's winter, so I expect this to be a lot higher for the end of February. For the end of April, which means this will be the rent payment for May and the electricity payment for May. Car insurance went off. My savings through my savings app went fine. 7-day notice. I normally save this for my car license. I started doing this for my car license, and hopefully to get a portion for my cost service. I made my extra debt payment of 150 Rand. We have our stock fell, so I still had to pay for the end of March into this for the birthday stock fell, which I managed to do. Thank goodness my debt review went off. My retirement increase, it was I know I did budget 647, but the original amount was 600 Rand. So it's gone up by 47 Rand 40. But I did include that in my budget when I was doing it for April. I am behind on my rates, and I hope they don't shut it down or blacklist my sister or anything. But well, hopefully I get something that will allow me to pay this. The normal payment is about 1,100, just over that. But I am behind on it as it is. So I'm going to keep 1,500 Rand in my budget for the near future, or until it's paid off. But I managed to pay 900 Rand thanks to this Provident Fund withdrawal. My fiber was the same as last month, 1,008 Rand. My phone was initially 1,100 Rand, but my mom's contract expired. and she didn't renew it. So I'm only paying for my phone. It's not a fancy phone, but I also took out the insurance on the phone when I took the contract. Um, so it's a little bit higher than you would normally expect for just one cheaper phone. My account fees were much higher this month because I had to like swap and change, and I don't know how many what do you call it, payments that I made. This is an accumulation. This 997 rand 70 is an accumulation of all of the payment fees I had incurred this month. My will policy went off as normal. My life insurance went off as normal. My YouTube went off, but I did get a notification to say that this is going to go up to 149 rand 99, which I am dreading. I mean, it's only 35 rand extra, but I am already nerve-wracked about this, and it's giving me anxiety. I do pay for this because we use the YouTube music a lot, and my mom and my sister and my aunt already they've been added on this, so they also use it. And in return, I get a very nice movie app that my sister has allowed me access to. And that's how I entertain myself. So, and it's better, honestly, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of really older movies that are currently on YouTube. So, me, so to pass the time whenever I need it, if I'm not reading, then I can play YouTube and I don't have to worry about my favorite Bollywood songs being cut off by an advert. So yeah, I have a little side project that I'm trying to work on. I haven't worked on it at all, which is terrible because in order to work on it, I have to pay, and it's 110 rand that I need to budget, which is a waste of money if I'm not doing anything, right? So my goal for this month, is to make full use of the membership that I need to have in order to build my project. Hopefully, I have strength enough to say no when it's needed so I can work on this. The other things that I have in this that I realize that I spent a lot on, sure, having to repeat this is really, really crazy, is coming up. So if you're looking at this and you're like, how do you not budget for fuel? You have to go to the office and everything. I budgeted 200 Rand initially for myself that I didn't include in my original budget. But because of this, I did manage to fill my tank to like 3/4 full. And that actually stayed. I still have about half a tank left in my car. So, I mean, it's stretching me at least. And the good thing is, if I end up not being able to afford filling fuel so I can go to work, my bosses are understanding because I like to think of myself as pretty efficient and they don't have to chase me every day. So I can work on my own and they have no problem with that because I do generally still get things done. This item is the one that bothers me the most. So it's 567 Rand 40. But honestly, this is basically takeaway. So I have a weakness for the popcorn at our canteen shop at work. And it's the cheapest thing there, but it's a lot and it fills me up, right? And it's only 14 Rand 50. And the thing is, I realized that 14 Rand 50 really racks up your accounts, because how do you get 567 Rand from that? I am flabbergasted and ashamed of myself that I did not pay attention enough to notice that I spent 500 Rand on takeout. It is absolutely ridiculous. And this money could have gone to paying my rates amount for this month, which frustrates me even more, because how careless could I be? So this is one of the things that I need to pay attention to in the next coming month. We also had a prayer that we had to do, and my mom sorted out a lot of the things, but when you're doing a prayer, you have to consider contributing towards the prayer in some way. So I bought most of the ingredients for the prayer, and it came to a lot less than I expected it to, but it's still quite significant, and also could have gone towards my my extra payment for my rates, or my car service, or my debt. It was one of those things. And you might be thinking, like, you have extra money, why don't you put it towards your groceries or anything? I got a voucher through work, because we don't get bonuses as support staff. And with that voucher, I managed to be able to accommodate for my groceries for the next few months, I think. I might need to go and get vegetables, but I go to a place in Ragburg called Carrera's Food Market. Amazing stuff. I'm beginning to hate the popularity of the place, because I'm so afraid that they'll increase prices. Not like it's not going to increase because of our economy, but still, it's too busy as it is on normal days when I go, and that's just me being selfish. But they're really, really cheap. And there's this other place called Pilaros, where I buy my yogurt. They have like a 1 liter for 36 Rand. And if you think about it, yes, we can buy the same liter at Checkers or Pick and Pay or Woolworths for the same amount of prices. But I am going on sort of a big retailer ban for myself. If I can support local businesses, small businesses, with the things that I really need, I would rather go to them than go to a big retailer, because I would get better service and better quality, and I wouldn't have to worry about so many other things. But I'm all for supporting small businesses. So if you have a small business that's in Johannesburg, please tag me in, because I would love to visit you. Especially if it's food and you're affordable. I know that sounds bad, but like, despite my wonderful salary, I have made really, really terrible decisions in my life that have caused me to be in a situation where I have more expenses than I have money. And I can't stretch my money out anymore than it's already been stretched. The other thing I had was, my mom wanted to go to this Indian festival where we could look at outfits and saris for my family member's wedding that's happening next year. I mean, if you know Hindu weddings, you know that they involve way too many events, and planning sooner than rather than later is actually always beneficial. So we went there, and I ended up spending money on food here as well. But my mom also wanted to go to this material shop in Edenvale. I think it's pronounced Camdor, but I needed things for my crocheting projects. So I spent 34 Rand there. It was basically a size 9 needle. If you watched my crochet with me while I vent video, then you would see that my project on that. And I'd like to do that because I took up crocheting because I heard that working with your hands helps keep your brain healthy, and reduces, what was it, occurrence of dementia. I might be delusional, but hey, I'm going to try whatever I can because so many things have happened over the last few years, actually, in the last decade, that even if I come across something that I can do that seems out of this world, I'm going to try it. And it also helps me take my mind off things when I'm stressing, because I'm one of those overthinkers that never shuts down their brain, or their brain never shuts down because of all the things they need to do and get done, and all of the anxiety that's happening for everything else. So I think it'll help in the long run. I really want to learn how to sew because I haven't bought anything for myself in the last maybe 7 years. 6 years, I think, because I can't afford it. Everything new that I've had in the last 4 years, was given to me. The last 4 years. I've only bought like necessities out of desperation. Like if a pair of pants tore, I didn't have another pants and I had to buy one. Yeah, I bought it out of necessity in the last 7 years. But I can tell you that in the last 3 or 4 years, I have not bought a single item of clothing for myself. Everything that I've gotten has been gifted to me in some way or the other. So yeah, that's it. Now, all of my expenses, keep in mind, this is my current salary that's coming to my account. My expenses came to 31,428 rand 65. Now, if you're looking at this, you're like, how the hell are you in debt review and still overcommitted? Doesn't always help you the way it is, especially if you're the type of person who feels guilty about everything and cannot say no to your parents and family. And I've gotten better at it, but it's not where it should be. And I do end up overcommitting myself, to detriment of my own financial wealth, financial health. So if you look at this, you could see I can estimate that in order for me to be able to truly survive without worrying about anything, I need to have an income of at least 36,000 rand net. And I'm saying 36 because I need to be able to accommodate for groceries and not just takeaways. I need to be able to save for the maintenance of my car. I need to be able to fill fuel to get to my office. This amount for my debt review includes a car payment. I would like to actually pay off that car this year. I only have 9 months to do it? 8 months. So if I can pay off my car this year, then that's 4,000 rand that I can free up, which will go here, and at least I'll have some kind of a relief where I can be like, okay, maybe I don't have to stress so much and I can start putting a little bit more towards my debt, or add that towards food for the month. It is absolutely ridiculous, this situation that I've put myself in. And so essentially, I am going to be at a shortfall of 5,483 Rand until I can increase this income from 25,000 Rand to 36,000 Rand. And I'm hoping that I can use this channel to be able to get rid of that fear and help myself overcome that so I can push myself to do what's necessary so I can increase my income. And like, look at this. I earn a really good salary. I do. How many people that are single today without not married, no partner, no children, who earn this, that make financially good decisions, tell you that this is not a good salary, even in this economy. I would be able to do so much more if I can get rid of this debt review amount. Imagine almost 9,000 Rand. Half of that I could save. The other half I could live off. I just need to get my act together and stop making stupid decisions. Anyway, so one of the things that I didn't add in here was a subscription that I forgot to cancel. So, excuse me. I do not have Microsoft, so I don't have any access to any of the Word documents. And one of this, so that bothers me. And I was trying to get something from LinkedIn, and it required me to log onto a PDF house thing, but it wouldn't allow me to download it unless I signed up. So I signed up for the free trial and somehow missed the notification, and it deducted 700 Rand from my account, and I was devastated. I mean, they did refund me after I requested it because I did it the same time, but they still only paid me half of the amount that they deducted because it was at their discretion. Imagine. So, considering all of that, I'm closing out this month with a balance of 16 Rand 67. Now, I know this is going to change because I haven't looked at my bank account as yet, but I just noticed that I got a decline notification for Canva. Now, I also, again, chose the free trial for Canva, but, Canva Pro. And I thought that I successfully canceled my free trial, but apparently I didn't. So that tried to be debited, tried to go off my account, but obviously I had 16 Rand in it and it wasn't enough. That was supposed to be 110 Rand. So I have a declining fee of 500 Rands, 5 Rand. So this amount is incorrect. It's most likely going to be 11 Rand 50 something cents. But yeah, I am glad I survived this month, but I'm also really anxious because I've gotten to this point of the month and I still am nowhere close to confirming that I will be getting a higher income next month, which is really frustrating. So if we look at this, what went wrong? I allowed myself to make my main 9 to 5 an excuse for not doing what I needed to do for my YouTube channel, for my little online project, for my updating of my CV, to applying for applications for additional jobs. I have been extremely inconsistent, and I think I've made an excuse to the point where I was lazy. And like, so deep down, I know that there was so much going on. I don't know. I most likely would not have been able to make the extra time, But there's a part of me that says, listen, you come home exhausted, you use your 9 to 5 as an excuse. What you could have still shut down your laptop, come home a little bit earlier, and worked it. So are you just sabotaging yourself into not doing what you need to do because subconsciously you need to just make this work, and you just want to stay in this comfort zone of yours. And just calling it a comfort zone is wild to me, because honestly, how do you call recurring months of anxiety and stress a comfort zone? Like, do you not want yourself to be happy enough to be able to afford everything that you need to afford? And it's not like you're incapable of it. Why are you sabotaging yourself? So I think that's also one of the things that I need to pay attention a little bit more on. My lesson here, thinking about it, after I did this, I think I cried on Tuesday for like half an hour, because this entire process made me so scared that I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, how am I going to manage? I don't want to be able to miss any more debit orders. I don't want to be considered a defaulter. I don't want it to ultimately have a negative effect on my credit rating even after I get off debt review, because my debt review is supposed to be about 5 years. I want to cut that down to 3 years, and 2 years have already been gone. So I'm discarding it. So like, I have 3 years left. I don't want to be 41 and just starting out again. I want to do this by the time I'm 38, which is wild. So um, one of the things that I need to do going forward is to be more intentional about what I do without with regards to how I plan my day, what I do, what I can do, what I can say no to, become more comfortable with saying no, and realizing that I don't owe anyone any explanation. If I need to do something for myself, I can say no. And that is one of the hardest things I have ever done. I mean, I've gotten better at it, because you can see from my debt review amount how bad I used to be. But hopefully that will get better. I have a Google Sheet that I've created for my tracking system. I can't show that to you because I have way more personal details on it at the moment. Hence, I'm doing it via paper. But I still need to fix that. And once I get that to a working order, then I can sort of duplicate things to make it look a little bit more like this, but electronically. Also, it's a lot neater, and I can make it prettier. I also still need to experiment with that. So hopefully, well, not hopefully, we're making it our goal to um, at least spend an hour on this every day, so I can essentially become more consistent on this. Sometimes I feel like I have some sort of attention disorder, because I cannot focus on some things like this. And I think it's just from the anxiety of it. But I need to push myself to get over it, right? Because if I don't do anything, not doing anything is choosing to be stuck in the situation. and that's not good either, right? So I am going to apologize in advance because I would be essentially getting paid tonight, but I can only do my budget video tomorrow night. And it's going to be later than usual or than I wanted it to be. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Please interact with it. If you have any suggestions for me, any words of encouragement, any polite criticisms, I would appreciate it. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.